Hey guys, Mr. Riley here. This topic is sort of a continuation of what we did in topic 6C on sales tax and tips and things. Okay, it's basically the same arithmetic, but looking specifically at two very common applications of percent problems, and that's discount and markup. And we've already talked about discount, but we'll talk about a different approach to those problems here and also talk about markup. So we're going to start with markup. So markup is something that a store or a business does to make money. They purchase items at a certain cost. That's called the wholesale cost, typically. And then they increase the price of those things by a certain percentage off, usually by a certain percentage. And then that's how they make their money, how they pay their employees and how they make their profit. And so that percentage, the increase in the price of something, is called a markup. Okay. And various industries mark up their prices with different percents. Here's some examples. And you can see that some of these are very significant. Wine at a restaurant, for example, 400% markup. Okay. Which means that if the bottle of wine costs the restaurant $1, then they charge the consumer $5, marking up the price of the wine 400%. Right, so 400% is actually 5 times as much. You can see other things here: flowers, 220%, a wedding dress, 290%. Okay, so markups can be pretty significant percents, or maybe they can be not so much, depending on the types of businesses. All right, so in order to do markup, so markup is just like a tax or a tip. It is a percent that is added on to the original price. So the question is, what is the selling price if the store purchases this pair of skates for $42 and they're going to mark up the price 25%? So that's an increase of 25%, or adding 25% on to the original price that the store is paying. Now, there are two ways to do this, and we've already talked about this. Same thing as with taxes. So it's exactly the same process as a sales tax problem. You can find the amount of the markup first, find what 25% is of $42. Quickest way to do that is 0.25 times 42, right? The equation method, converting the percent to a decimal. And then you get $10.50, and then you add that on to the original price. So that would be $52.50. That's the two-step method. Now, the one-step method, just like with sales tax, if we wanted to add it on, is to add the 100%, the original price, plus the 25% markup. So just multiplying the original price by 125% as a decimal. So 1.25. So basically, it's adding a 1 in front of the markup percentage. So 1.25 times 42 goes directly to $52.50. So obviously, the one-step method is more efficient here, unless you're specifically having to find the amount of the markup, in which case you would have to do the first step anyway. All right. So here's got it for you. The store pays $75 for a bike, and they mark it up 40%. What is the selling price of the bike? What is the store going to sell the bike for? One-step method is going to be this 40% as a decimal, 0.4, and put a 1 in front. So 1.4 times 75, $105. If you don't like the one-step method, you're not comfortable with that, you can figure the markup. What's 40% of $75? 0.4 times 75 is $30. And then you add that to the price that the store pays, the wholesale price. And that also comes out to $105. So it doesn't matter which method you use here. Either way, you get the same answer. So that's markup. Markup is calculated exactly the same as sales tax is added on, except the percentages are going to be way higher than tax percentages. All right. Next is discount. Now, we've done discount problems before. We've done problems where, oh, this is on sale for 25% off. How much are you going to pay? That's a discount. Discount is a percentage by which the price of something is reduced. It's put on sale, at a discount. Okay, so a certain percentage off. Very, very, very common. We've already talked about some of these problems. Okay, now the problem with the difference is that discount percentage is subtracted off from the original price. Okay, again, there are two different methods to calculate these also. We really haven't talked about the one-step method yet. So the two-step method, which is probably what you did on previous problems if you did these, is to find the amount of the discount, right? If it's this volleyball is $59 and it's 65% off the original price, okay? So find 65% of $59. 0.65 times 59 is $38.35. So that's how much they're going to take off of the price of the volleyball. That's the discount. The discount is the amount of money taken off, okay? And again, remember that you have to convert your percent to a decimal to use this method. So if it's $38.35 is the discount, then you subtract that from the original price, 59 minus 38.35, and you're paying $20.65. Does that make sense? 65% off, it should be less than half of the original price. So $20.65, yep, less than half of 59. Okay, now the one-step method for discounts a little trickier because you can't just use the 0.65 and then subtract that. That's not how it works, okay? So instead, you have to think of it like if you're getting 65% off of the original price, well, then what percent of the original price are you paying? What percent is left of the original price? So that's basically 100 minus 65. And subtracting a percent from 100 should be something that you can do pretty easily in your head, right? 100 minus 65 is 35%. Okay, so that's what you do if to do the one-step method. I mean, that's not really a step because you should be able to just do that in your head. You find the percent that you are going to pay. 100 minus the discount, that's 35%. So if you're going to pay 35% of 59, then you just do 0.35 times 59. And you see that that too comes out to $20.65. So that one-step method, you subtract the discount from 100%, or you figure out what percent you're going to pay if the given the discount percent. Okay. So let's take a look at an example of that one. So magazine subscription costs $35 normally, but it's on sale for 67% off, 2/3 off, 67% off the original price. What is the sale price? Okay, so the two-step method is much safer in these problems. So some people may prefer to do the two-step method, which would be to find the discount. Okay. Also, if you're just asked for what the discount is, then this is what you have to do first anyway. How much are you saving? 0.67 times 35, right? 67% of $35 is $23.45. That's how much you are saving at 67% off. The price then that you're going to pay, you subtract that off from 35, okay, which is $11.55. Now, if you wanted to do this in the one-step method, you have to think about what percent of the price are you going to pay? What percent of the price are you going to pay if it's 67% off? What percent is left? So 100 minus 67 is 33%. So the final price here is going to be 33% of the original price. So 0.33 times 35 is the one-step calculation. And that too comes out to, $11.55. Typo. So again, typically you are allowed to you can use either method here, unless if it asks you specifically for what the discount is or how much money you're saving, then you have to do this first step over here. Okay, but that's a different question. If the question is just asking you what the final sale price is, you could use either method. All right, well, let's go backwards now. What if they tell you, what if they tell you the sale price and the discount, and they want to know what the original price was? Okay, so Henrik had a 25% discount on hockey equipment, and he ended up paying $172.50. That's the sale price. So what was the original price? Okay, well, if the discount was 25%, then this price that he's paying, 172.50, is 75% of the original price. So in this type of problem, you really have to find that amount, that what is the remaining percent after the discount, 100 minus 25%. So 172.50 is 75% of the original price, which means now that this is a finding the whole type of problem. So you can do the percent proportion. 172.50 over the original price is 75%, 75 over 100. Okay, so you can do it with a proportion or the percent equation, which again, some people get confused with using the percent equation to find the whole. That's when you divide by the percent, divide the part by the percent written as a decimal. And so that would be 172 divided by 0.75, 75% written as a decimal. And that also gives you $230. Just make sure your answer makes sense and is reasonable in these, right? If it was 172.50, then 25% off of something a little higher than that. And you can always check this, right? Figure out what 25% of $230 is. You can confirm that it is the sale price that you paid. All right, so here's a got it on this type of problem. Louisa got a 75% discount on a soda, 75% discount. She paid $225. Well, what was the original price of the sofa? So if it's a 75% discount, that means that she paid 25% of the original price. So $225 is 25% of the original price. As the proportion, 225 over whole, the original price is 25 over 100. Cross multiply and divide by 25 and you get $900. Or in one step, 225 divided by 0.25, right? $225 is 25% of what? Now, the other thing you could do is if you recognize that that's 25%, you can just multiply it by 4, right? If 225 is a quarter of the original price, 4 times 225 is the original price. Dividing by 0.25, same as multiplying by 4, $900. All right, last example here is a multiple step problem. We've seen these before also, where you had something on sale and then you put the tax on it, or maybe you did the tax and then added a tip. Okay, so in this problem, something is on sale, 30% off, and then has sales tax on top of it. Now, sales tax is always applied to the sale price, not to the original price. Okay, which means you cannot do this problem in one step. You have to do it in 2 steps. Okay, first you have to find the discounted price, and then you find the sales tax and add that to the discounted price. So first step, find the discounted price. You can do that in the one-step method, which is the kind we'll use here because that's the quicker one. Okay, so if it's 30% off, then you're paying 70%. That's what's left. You're paying 70%. 70% of $295 is $206.50. Okay, so 0.7 times $295. So that's your sale price, the discount price. And then you have to add the 8.25% sales tax. So I, again, would do this in the one-step method. That's what they did here, which is to multiply this price by 1.0825, right? So adding the 8.25% to 100%, multiply that as a decimal, multiply that times the sale price of $206.50, and you get 223.53625, round to the nearest cent. So the final price here, $223.54. Okay. So sales tax is like markup, except for it's money that goes to the state instead of to the business. All right, so here's a got it for this type of problem. The CD with an original price of $11.95 is discounted 20% off, and then a sales tax of 5.5% added to the discounted price. What does it cost to buy the CD? So the first step, is to calculate the sale price. If you're discounting 20%, then you are going to pay 80%. Okay, so the sale price is 80% of $11.95. That's $9.56. Then you pay the sales tax on top of that, 5.5% of 9.56. And we're going to do that in one step also. So we're going to multiply by 1.055, 5.5% plus 100% as a decimal. And that comes out to $10.09. So hopefully you got that. All right. So markup, discount, finding the original price if they give you the percent of discount or markup, and then multiple step problems. This is all really review of the last topic, just some specific applications. And of course, we just talked about sort of this new one-step method for doing them. So let's take a look at a couple of these, see how you do on them, these few guided practice problems. So first, find the selling price. Pair of shoes, $30 at a 25% markup. 25% markup multiplied by 1.25, $37.50. Number two, a CD player charges is $45 for the store to buy it. They mark it up 31%. What do you have to pay? 1.31 times 45, $59.95. Number seven, what's the sale price of a bike? It's regularly $110 and it's on sale for 45% off. And again, I'm only going to show the one-step method here for finding the sale price, which is to figure out the price you're going to pay, the percent you're going to pay. If it's 45% off, then you're paying 55%. And 55% of $110 is $60.50. Number eight, an art supply store is advertising 40% off all of their canvases. Shelley buys 4 large canvases and she pays $141.60. That's the sale price. What would she have paid if she didn't get the 40% discount? So this one is asking, what is the original price? What is the original price? So if it's 40% off, then she is paying 100 minus 40, or 60% of the original price. So 141.60 is 60% of the original price. What is the original price? 141.60 out of what? The original price is 60 out of 100. Solve this proportion, you get $236. Or go the one-step method and do 141.60 divided by 0.6. Divide by the percent as a decimal, and you also get $236. Okay, so does that make sense? $236, 40% off of that. Does that make sense to 141? Should be a little more than half. This should be. So, yep, that is a reasonable answer. All right, last one, I think. Denisha picks up a takeout meal at a restaurant and is discounted 25% off. The price is $24.60 without the discount. That's the original price. And the sales tax of 4.5% is added, and sales tax is always added on the sale price, on the discounted price. So what's her total bill here for the meal? 2 steps required here. First, what is the sale price? If it was $24.60 and it's 25% off, that means that she is paying 75% of the original price. So 75% of $24.60 is $18.45. Now add the sales tax. We will do that in one step also. 1.045 is an addition of 4.5% onto the original price. So that times 18.45. And the total bill for Denisha at the end is $19.28. All right, so that's discount, markup, combining them. Again, all applications of the percent equation, which always uses the percent as a decimal. one-step or two-step methods to do those problems. You can do them either way. And so this is what we'll see on the quiz. We'll go over these in the next class, some of these, and then we'll have a quiz on these types of problems.